Hello everyone, let's analyze a game between Raunak Sadhwani and Sadvakasov Darmen played in the World Rapid Team Championship round 12.1. Here white is Raunak Sadhwani and black is Darmen. So let's start. E4, C5, Knight F3 and D6 by Darmen, and now Bishop to B5 by Raunak. Bishop D7, Bishop into D7, Knight into D7 and castles. You can say the opening is Sicilian Rossolimo attack, and now Knight J6, Queen E2. Generally Knight C3 was best here, but he played a sideline Queen E2 move to protect this pawn. So Rook C8 and now C4. Guys, C4 square is controlling the D5 square and there is a good outpost for the knight. So G6 to develop the bishop on G7 and Knight C3. Now you can see here Knight C4 pawn and E4 pawn is looking towards the D5 strong center. Bishop G7 and now D4. C takes D4, Knight takes D4, castle, and here Raunak played B3. Well, you can see here 3 pawns are here and 2 pawns are here, so it will be minority versus majority. So A6, Bishop B2, Queen F5, Knight D5. So this knight is attacking the E7 pawn, as well as Bishop is also going to C3 to attack the Queen on the A5. So Rook F E8, Darmen saved the pawn and now A4. Here the position is quite good for black, little good for black, because pieces are arranged good and rooks are developed. Also the queen is on the active square, so you can see the position is quite little good for black, but white is totally fine here. So knight into d5, into d5. Now you can see 4 pawn towards the queen side and 3 pawns versus 4 pawns on the queen side. It will be exciting game. So knight c5 by Darmen and queen c2. He saved the pawn on the b3 and now e5. Actually Darmen wanted to develop his piece, which is rook, so he played e5 move, and now after e5 d into e6, knight into e6. Now you can see here this d5 square is a very good outpost for the white. So knight into e6 and now rook into e6. Now you can see the pawn structure of the black is not so good, because d6 pawn is a weak pawn and there are 3 pawn islands for the black and 2 pawn islands white has. The lesser the pawn island, the brilliant game you will have. So bishop into g7 and king into g7. Now you can see the d6 pawn is real weakness here. But yeah, actually the position is equal, because b3 is a weakness here, c5 square is a weak for white. So rook a d1 and now b5. Well guys, the best move here was to play king to g8, because after b5 white played queen b2, and now you can see here there is a check and b4 will come up with the tempo. So king g2 and now b4. So guys, if black takes the pawn, white to play, what will you play here? Of course rook a1, and you can trap the queen. That is why after b4, queen into a4 move is not possible. So black played queen b6, which is an inaccurate move, because after c into b5, a into b5, this move a5 came with a tempo, and now this pawn is attacking the queen, and after queen to b7, it is white here who have to play here. But the problem is after b4, black should play queen to d8, because after taking this pawn, and after a5 it is black here to play, and black can counter attack with the rook c4 or with the d5 move. So this is the minor difference here. After the b4, where to place the queen? Yes, on the d8 square is the correct. Queen b6 is an inaccurate move, and here Raunak took advantage of it. C into b5 into b5, and now a4, a5, queen b7, and now you can see a pawn is a passed pawn here. So rook f1. Now it is a general rule that if you have passed a pawn, you should try to exchange the pieces. So Raunak played rook f1, queen e7, and exchange a pair of rooks here, and now h3. h3 move is a prophylactic move to play king h2 in the future if it is necessary. So d5. Darmen is also tried to move his passed pawn. So queen e2, attacking the b5 pawn and the e6 pawn, and now queen to d7, saving the pawn, and now queen e5. Guys, you can see here this e5 square is a weak square, and queen is looking towards the b8 square, also looking at the diagonal, and here there is a problem for the black also. So rook can jump here, here, and here to attack this pawn. So queen e5, very strong move by Raunak, and now rook c6 and queen d8 check. Now you can see there is a double attack on the king and the b5 pawn. So rook c8 is the only move to save the pawn, and now queen b6. And now queen is ready to support the a5, a6, a7 pawn move. So queen c6, Raunak exchanged queens, and now rook a1. As it is also a general rule, rook behind the passed pawn. So this rook is behind the passed pawn, and rook c7, and now a6. If you have a passed pawn, you have to move to the promotion square. So rook a7, and now f4. The purpose of f4 is to open the diagonal for the king. King f2, king e3, king d4, king c5, king b6, and now you can see in the game king f7, king f2, g5, king e3, g into f4, and Raunak is not taking care of the pawns and moving towards the queen side, because after king into b5 it is over. e5, king a6, and if you try to move this pawn here, Darmen resigned the game. But if we continue this game by moving the passed pawn, then after king here or somewhere, if he creates the queen, then simply take with the king, and if you push the pawn, then and we will create the queen here, and if you then in the check anywhere, we will capture this pawn. So beautiful end game played by Raunak, and this move c takes b5 was a good reply, and a5. I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep enjoying, keep watching.